Do you feel like your meetings could be more productive? Do discussions often drift off the agenda, leaving you feeling like you've wasted a bunch of time? Let me show you how to turn things around with these 12 streamlined, easy to implement gems that will make your meeting time more productive, whether you're hybrid, remote, or in person. I even have a bonus tip at the end, so stick around. My name is Sheila Hammond, and I have 15 years of experience as a business analyst and business analyst manager, plus another decade as a product owner. To really maximize the effectiveness of your meetings, you should follow the 40-20-40 rule. This rule, first mentioned in the book, How to Fix Meetings, suggests that 40% of your time should be spent on preparation, 20% on the meeting itself, and another 40% on follow through. Now, this sounds like a lot, but really it's not. A meeting that's scheduled to last 60 minutes, you should spend around 24 minutes on the preparation, 40% of 60 minutes, and another 24 minutes on the follow through. By allocating your time this way, you ensure that every meeting is productive and leads to actionable outcomes. Now, before you schedule a meeting, it's essential to perform a go, no-go test to determine if the meeting is actually necessary. A meeting is unnecessary if the information that is being shared can be communicated via email or an update. Don't make something a meeting if it can be an email, ever. If you need 100% alignment and even one critical person can't make it, reschedule the meeting. If feedback doesn't need to be provided in real time and it can be gathered asynchronously, then don't have a meeting. If you deem that a meeting is a go, you should prepare yourself and your guests. Now, I do this by always sending out an agenda before the meeting. This step is crucial as it helps everyone know what to expect, and it prepares them for the discussion and lets them know if they're the right person to even attend. Now, if they aren't the right person to attend, they can forward it to somebody that is. Make sure your agenda is clear, concise, and sent out at least 24 hours in advance. Now, it doesn't need to be some fancy schmancy thing. Just put the agenda in the meeting invite. It should have a title, an objective, a list of agenda items, any supporting documentation, and if you can, implement time boxing for each agenda item. Assign a time for each topic and stick to them to ensure that the meeting stays within the allotted time. That's really it. Next, don't invite the whole office to your meeting. Only include people who are directly involved or who have something valuable to contribute. If someone is coming to your meeting that you don't think needs to be there, you are empowered to take them off the meeting list and tell them a note why you don't think that they should be there, okay? It is crucial to keep the meeting focused and productive to have the right people in the room. A smaller, focused group is more likely to stay on topic and make quicker decisions. Empower your teammates to say, I'm not the right person for this meeting, so I'm not going to go. This shows that you value everyone's time. Another hot tip to ensure a smooth meeting is get buy-in from key participants before the meeting. This can be done through a quick ping, an email, or a brief one-on-one chat. Pre-alignment helps address any concerns early and aligns everyone on the meeting's goals. So for example, if you're expecting objections or if you need specific input, discussing this beforehand can streamline the meeting and keep it focused on productive discussions. This next one might seem obvious, but if you called this meeting, you need to run this meeting. You made the meeting for a reason and you need to moderate and ensure things run smoothly. First things first, always test your technology setup before the meeting starts and have a backup plan in case something goes wrong. Now, if you're remote, log in early. Make sure that you have the documents that you want to display queued up and ready to go. Get yourself prepared. You need to kick off the meeting with a brief summary of what will be discussed and why it matters. This sets the tone and ensures that everyone's on the same page from the get-go. It helps to focus the conversation and keeps the meeting on track. Ask someone in the meeting to take notes if you're unable. Notes are incredibly important because there's usually some action items that come out of the meeting. You want to be sure that those are recorded. To keep your meetings on track and avoid tangents, use the parking lot technique. When someone brings up a valid point, but it's off topic, note it and write it in a designated parking lot area on a whiteboard or in your meeting notes. Acknowledge the point and commit to addressing it later. This helps maintain focus on the current agenda while ensuring that valuable ideas are not lost. Make sure everyone has a chance to speak. This is probably one of the more difficult things about running a successful meeting. There's always that one person that way overtalks their turn or monopolizes the conversation. This is a huge meeting pitfall. Learn how to avoid letting one person dominate by effectively, kindly, and sternly driving the conversation. Encourage quieter members to share their thoughts. Use engagement techniques such as the round robin discussion, where each participant shares their thoughts on a topic before moving on. This ensures that everyone has a voice and can contribute. I always make it a point to directly ask for input from a quieter team member or use anonymous feedback tools that can gather everyone's thoughts. This will create a more inclusive environment in your meeting and can lead to much more creative solutions. If it's appropriate, use visual aids like slides, diagrams, and charts to help clarify points and keep everyone engaged. This can also drastically help understanding and retention. For remote meetings, share your screen to illustrate your points. Please, oh please, watch your time. It's really frustrating when meetings run over because that can have a domino reaction and then make people late for their next meeting. Sticking to the schedule shows respect for everyone's time and helps build a reputation for efficient meetings. Using a visible timer on your screen helps keep everyone aware of the time remaining and encourages sticking to the schedule. When there's 5 minutes left, either start wrapping up or say, I will schedule another time for us to finish this conversation. During the wrap up, summarize the key takeaways and action items. Make sure that everyone knows their responsibilities and what needs to be done next. If action items came out of this meeting, it's crucial to assign them to a specific individual rather than using vague terms like we or the team. Right? Clearly state who's responsible for each task. For example, John will finalize the vendor contract by next Tuesday, or Sarah will prepare the project timeline and share it by the end of the week, right? This clarity ensures accountability and helps prevent misunderstandings about who's responsible for what. Here we go. Number 12 on our list, I think, is one of the most important, and that would be to send out a summary email of the meeting that has who was in attendance, what was talked about, what action items there are, and who's responsible for those action items, and when and if there's going to be a follow-up meeting or email. Part of your responsibility is to help everyone be accountable. This summary email ensures that people can't say they didn't know something or weren't aware of a decision. Well, they can say it, but you have evidence to the contrary. If they were in attendance and they were multitasking and not paying attention, that isn't your fault. If you keep on top of tip number 8 and encourage participation and make sure everyone talks, you can alleviate this a lot. Another little tip, this is your little bonus tip, is consider bringing coffee, donuts, or snacks to the meeting. While this might seem trivial, it can significantly lighten the mood and foster a more collaborative atmosphere. The act of providing a small treat can make participants feel appreciated and more willing to engage positively on the meeting. This simple gesture can go a long way in building goodwill and encourage active participation. Incorporating these simple yet effective strategies into your meetings can make a world of difference. Whether you're in a hybrid, remote, or in-person environment, these tips will help you run meetings that are productive and efficient. Try these tips in your next meeting and let me know how it goes in the comments below. That's all I've got for you today. Lazy BA out.